We on. What's happening, fam? Gil Cole, salute. Lil Rock, salute. What's good with it, fam? Give me a second, y'all. Let these run up these 2 minutes. Give me a second so I can share the video. Put the link in the chat and all that good stuff. I just can't see the chat or nothing. But yeah, I'm gonna get up in here and talk about. I posted up the schedule. This week's schedule and this last season results. This week is gonna be the first week of the new season. If anybody wants to join, that's a 10, fantasy boxing prediction league on Facebook. But we post up the picks in our community tab. Y'all can join that way also. Just check the community tab every week. Put your picks in, and Trey he'll get them to he'll send them. He'll post them on Facebook for you if you ain't on Facebook or any of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can still participate through the community tab right here on the channel. Pretty good league. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right. D-Vid, salute, bro. What's happening? But yeah, y'all could so if y'all want to get in, it's already posted on the community tab. Y'all can go ahead and put y'all picks in as early as today. No later than Friday. No later than Thursday, because Friday is the first fight. It's a fight card on Friday. That's on there. Joseph Brown, salute, bro. Y'all put the link in the chat. Y'all want to get on, man? We're gonna chop it up for a minute. Probably be on for an hour. Hold up. Thank you. But if y'all do jump on, give me a second. I'm just sharing the video and stuff like that. Let 2 minutes go by, so feel more comfortable about the conversation. And Gil Cole's made it in the top 10. Eric R. He would have had. He was one fight away from picking four bonus fights. He did good as hell. He would have put some money on it. He would have hit. If y'all jump on the link, just give me 1 second. Give me 1 hot second. Just running through this routine real quick to share the video. Get into it. But man, I'm gonna start off with that there. I want to talk about that Lubin Fundora fight, man. Crazy. Joseph Brown in the building. Salute, bro. Gil Cole, get your ass on.
Salute. Been a minute since I've been on the corner, man. My schedule been conflicted, man. I didn't even get to see any of these fights during the weekend. I'm gonna have to check them out later on, man. But it's just good to be on the corner and chop it up with you, man.
And always good to have you, man. Shit, we already know, life gotta get taken care of for all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It was a pretty good card, man. Especially the Lubin Fundora fight, man. Lubin, I don't know why his game plan was to squabble from the outside. Eric Cooper, salute, fam. He said, "What up, Marlo? Peace, fam. What up? What up? We just in here chilling, chopping it up." But Lubin's game plan was to mostly try to fight from the outside and come in with some lead hard shots. You know what I'm saying? And Fundora plan was to squabble in the inside. And once he got Lubin in the inside, he was just wreaking havoc on that boy's face. Uppercuts, hooks, all kind of shit, man. Put him on his wallet. His corner had to stop it, man. What's his name? Kevin Cunningham didn't want to see no more. It was
It
kind of
sound it sound like he ain't have no respect for Fundora's punching power. He came in there like he was the puncher.
yeah.
I
Found
think.
out that boy a problem, a 7 foot problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I picked Lubin to win that fight because I thought he was going to counterpunch effectively. I've seen Fundora fight live, man. I seen him. They came out here in the Armory a couple years ago when he fought Clark from Ohio, and he got that draw, and I thought he lost that fight. But I thought Lubin was going to be on the back foot, luring Fundora in and catching him on counter in between shots. But it don't sound like that's the type of fight he was trying to have.
Nah, it wasn't. It was a bad game plan, man. Fundora had no way, no problem jabbing his way in. You know what I'm saying? And having his way on the inside. Don't get me wrong. Lubin did catch him with some good shots. You know what I'm saying? To get some redemption. Ended up dropping Fundora. But once Fundora got back up, you know what I'm saying? It was right back to the same thing, the same problem. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't really have no answer but a Hail Mary shot.
And he didn't switch up the game plan either, huh? Once he
Nope.
felt that power, he didn't go back to his boxing. He still sounded like he was still trying to trade.
Well, because he was kind of desperate, you know what I'm saying? He still stuck to his game plan, like he said, because he came in with like some kind of lead left hand or something like that. Mark Nash, salute, fam. He said, "What up, my G?" But he came in with some kind of lead shot, you know what I mean, and then end up catching him with a nice counter. But shit, that shit still didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Fundora got up off his wallet and wreaked havoc on that boy's face, man. Had him looking like Dre say like Martin when he fought that boy on what's his name? Who was that Hagler he fought? No,
when
that was
uh when he
Hearns.
fought Tommy Hearns and he thought he got full of himself, thinking he was the community champion and thought he could compete with the world champion.
Right. Yeah, man. Shit, I had Lubin too. I'm serving myself pro right now. Hey, Fundora, I gotta give him his props though, man. I mean, he ain't no scrub. You know what I'm saying? He got some potential. Like he gonna be a problem for anybody he get in the ring with. You know what I mean? You gonna definitely have to make some adjustments. You know what I'm saying with that win and him bringing that kind of pressure that he brings.
Yeah, for me, I gotta get past the part where he fights like a short man trapped in a tall man's body. I just got to get past that and just acknowledge, this is the type of style he fights and he's effective doing it. And I just thought Lubin's counter punching ability and his ring IQ was going to be enough for him to pull through, but apparently he didn't use very much ring IQ.
To give him his props. Hold on a little bit. Yeah. Well, I forgot about my whole train of thought. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that motherfucker didn't make no adjustment, man. And we gotta give him his props. He didn't fight short. Like he didn't give up his height too much in the fight. Not even when he was in the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. He fought tall even though he was on the inside doing work.
Yeah. He really didn't bend his knees a lot to get his shots off.
Now, did Lubin throw any effective body punching?
Not really, no, not really.
That's kind of weird because when he fought Rosario, he threw effective body shots, and but that's Rosario's weakness. But at the same time, with a guy who comes forward like Fundora, you want to at least attack that body and sap some of that gas tank because he's very active.
Well, for one though, he was fighting from the outside. Way his arm wasn't long enough to try to, you know what I'm saying, to try to go in there and try to take them lead shots to the body. And when he did, he paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was a jab or some kind of counter. You know what I'm saying? Gil Cole's in the damn building. He said, "Play the flute."
What's happening, fella?
What's going on, Gil?
What's going on?
You
I got
Top
something.
10, top 10 in the building, top
Goddamn
10.
right.
Put some respect
Goddamn
on the
right.
top 10.
like a
Goddamn
motherfucker.
right.
Hey, Gil, what's your take on it, man? What you think about the Lubin performance, man?
Uh, man, I felt like he tried. He tried. Man, I don't know, man. Like I'm gonna tell reason I ain't think he was gonna win. I thought he wasn't gonna let his hands go, which he did let his hands go. He just um I don't know how to explain that shit, bro. Like how you supposed to fight this tall dude though? Like
Come on
you
the back.
fight
You
him on the
supposed
inside.
if he wanna be on the inside, you got to put him on the back foot.
Hey, Gil, the best thing was for him to do is work his way in, get his money, and get up out of there without trying to take any punishment. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah,
don't let him have it his way and have you just in the inside against the ropes, just tearing your ass up. You know what I'm saying? It's a tall motherfucker, so you're gonna expect to get hit. You know what I'm saying on your way out because that motherfucker long as hell.
yeah,
But you're gonna go in there and get you a nice three piece or something. You know what I'm saying? Two out of the three shots, but you're
Yep.
trying to get in there with your guard up. You know what I'm saying? And fight that way. Lubin was way too far out. Lubin was fighting at his advantage, not trying to get up under there and hook up over the jab or nothing that kind of distance. You know what I'm saying? He was just at the distance where old boy can work his way in off the jab. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't
yeah.
really do it. It was kind of weird.
Man, that man Fundora was using uppercuts as his goddamn jab, man. That shit
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
fucking him up, man.
Hey, shout
I
out to
don't,
Raymond
it
Knight.
hurt my heart though, man. It hurt my heart. My fellow Floridian getting beat down like that, man. I mean, he got a little. I don't know if you can call that a knockdown because your boy he took a knee, but I mean, I don't know, man. I couldn't pick with my heart on that one, man. That champ was different, bro. I had to go with Fundora.
Yeah, that shit hit way different.
Hmm.
Hey, you can take just eat taking that L, but you got your point, motherfucker. You in the top 10.
Yeah,
Hey, shout
feel
out
great. You know what I mean? It feel great.
for real. Shout out to Raymond Knight. He said can't wait for this weekend, man. We can't neither. Jazzy T in the building. Salute, sis. What's happening? She said, I wonder how bad his eyes. It's probably fucked up. Probably was seeing triple. Salute, Trey. What's good, bro?
What's going down? Salute, salute.
Trash, what's going on?
What's cracking, Trey?
Shit, just came to talk a little boxing with y'all, go smell motherfucker. Hey man, congratulations on your top 10 shit. But hey, I'm coming back with something next season, boy. It's gonna be so tough around this whole boy. Hey,
Yeah, you can't
hey,
wait. I seen you in the thing. He said, man, drop that new schedule, man. Get the ass kicked.
Hey, that get back is real, huh?
hey man, say you hey, ain't nothing but a minor setback for a major comeback, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I heard y'all talking about the fighting shit though, man. Hey, I think that we're gonna have to start re-evaluating these tall pressure fighters instead of being so quick to judge them negatively. I think we just need to appreciate the attributes that they have because if we look in the history of boxing, there has been a place for them. Like think about Sandy Sadler when he was going against Willie Pep. They fought 4 times. Sandy Sadler beat the motherfucker 3 out of 4 times, bringing that pressure with that length and shit. You know what I'm saying? We could fast forward. We can come to the more modern time. We could say Cotto against Margarito. I know Margarito was cheating in his gloves and all that kind of shit, but it was still the same dynamic. It's the tall pressure fighter that had a pretty good chin too, because he was taking some punches from Cotto, but he made Cotto wilt with that tall pressure. You know what I'm saying? We can go to Jerry Hurd,
You can
Jerry Hurd,
Paul Williams.
Paul Williams. We can look at even look at Robert the Ghost Guerrero when he fought against Andre Berto. The way that he was able to just maul Berto and shit and just was all over him. And Berto just couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was on display this weekend because like I had already brought out the example, Brandon Figueroa when he fought against Luis Nery. It was the same type of dynamic. I'm mad at myself because I knew all of this going in and I still picked Lubin because of the amateur background, but I learned a lesson. I think that when it comes to order of operations, the matchups, when it comes to like shit like this, I'm gonna have to start giving them more credit over the amateur background. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck how many amateur fights you got. If the motherfucker 6'6" and you can't do nothing, he putting hands on you. That man took a beating, bro.
Yeah, like cause you ain't never seen a motherfucker like that. That type of pressure. You ain't never faced that kind of pressure or style.
It was a savage beating.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. To see his face after that, looking like the Punkin Man, shit swelled up. His trainer looked at him like, "Nah, I got to stop this shit."
Nigga like a unicorn, like he had a horn growing out his forehead or something, nigga.
Man, hey,
Credit to Fundora because he improved. Like he improved a lot from the last time I saw him live fight. I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, but based on what you guys are saying, that's a different Fundora from what I saw.
yeah, watch that. Raymond Knight said, "Thanks so much, man." He said we will have a good time Saturday. Oh, it's going down. Can't
Oh
wait.
yeah.
Right next to Champ. He said, "What up, my people? Just chilling, bro. Going up on the guy. Talking with a box of Jackie T said, I'm in Fundora eyesight because his eyeglasses is thick. Oh, I ain't noticed how thick they was. Did he complain about his eyesight? Jackie T said, somebody made me to test Fundora from the outside. Yeah, man. Hey, we was talking about his game plan, Trey. Like I didn't like that. He was giving up way too much real estate. You know what I'm saying? He would be putting himself in a position to slip a jab and counter over the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He was putting himself way out of reach to where it was Fundora's advantage to jab his way in and corner him in. You know what I'm saying? For them combinations and the inside that Fundora did. What you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna say this, bro. Anytime you going into a fight on this level and your game plan involves you staying right in front of your opponent, it's probably not a good game plan. Like even if you're not going against somebody like Fundora, and if you put this 6'6" shit into perspective, and the guy has a good inside game, even though he's tall as hell, he can fight on the inside. You just standing in front of him like that is just it's stupid, bro. It's ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense.
Right.
So yeah, no angle. No, we ain't trying to turn him like my man YG Knight just kept on saying all night. Goddamn, turn the man. Wasn't none of that going on. You know what I'm saying? He could have bent his knees a little bit more and dug them body shots too and got some leverage on the inside. Instead of just covering up and shit, nigga, bend your knees and come with something the way Andre Ward used to do. Like if that were Fundora against Andre Ward, he would have got destroyed because
Picked apart.
his body would have been so blue by the time they was done with the fight. It just would have been he would have got broke down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what Jay Brown was talking about. Jay Brown said, Moody Trayweather, salute. What's good, bro? He said, what up to the corner? Xavier
Salute.
Boxing Nerd, salute, fam. He said, what historical boxing books have you guys been reading? Trey, what you been on?
Man, I'm going back over the shit that I already got. So right now I'm back on my what's the name of this motherfucker, man? I'm back on my Black Genesis. Kevin R. Smith. I've been reading about different fighters and shit. Massa Kendricks, Harry Sutton. I've been trying to go back over him a little bit. It's some more. I got my notes and shit wrote down. But yeah, I just been trying to go back over the shit that I have so I can lock it in and learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, once again, for everybody who just came in, the new Fantasy Boxing Prediction League season started this week. The schedule is in the community tab. If y'all got a Facebook, it's called Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. Y'all don't got a Facebook and don't want to go over there, y'all can put y'all picks in the community tab and Trey will get them over there. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure y'all put them in by Thursday because some fights, some cards be having Friday fights on there, so or no later than Friday morning or some shit like that. But yeah, the new season is starting today. Y'all want to get in? I already put my picks in too.
Yeah, I usually wait till Thursday. You know what I mean? Because I don't want nobody stealing my picks.
That's what I do too. Square minute. I shouldn't have been triple this past season. No, ain't nobody trying to steal them broke ass picks I was putting in there.
Hey, I was doing it on Thursday, but I sometimes I forget because you know the Friday is the fight, and I missed out on one of the Friday fights. I said, "Fuck that shit, I'm gonna put it in as quick as I can."
Yeah.
But hell yeah, man, we got a pretty good fight card, man. But the main event is most likely I know what a lot of us waiting on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't put y'all picks in. What y'all think about the fight? Earl Spence versus Ugas, man. How that's gonna look out? How that's looking to y'all? Who y'all got? If y'all don't mind.
Man, I might have her. It just depends on how I feel. That's all. But I don't think it's gonna be no one-sided fight like he been saying. I've been catching some of his interviews. He's saying it's just gonna be a one-sided fight. I think it's gonna be something different.
Well, I'll say like that. I've been hearing folks talk about, how Earl looked against Sean Porter. And yeah, Ugas is an effective counter puncher, but there's some things he does that allows for Earl to catch him with that same left hook that Earl landed against Sean Porter and dropped Sean Porter. And the problem with Ugas is he leaves himself so wide open when he throws that overhand right, that looping right hand. If he does that and he's in range, he's gonna get clipped. Earl's gonna time him with that left hook. It could spell a lot of problems for Ugas. So that's one of the things that I'm looking to see how he adjusts when he's throwing that looping right hand. Because if he screws up and he miscalculates with that right hand, or even if he's in punching in the mid range and he throws that right hand, he's gonna be in some serious situations where he might not be able to. The ref might be counting the 10 on his ass.
You talking about the lead straight right here?
Yeah,
Big boys, fam. What's good?
because he bends his head down and he throws it. When he throws it, he leaves himself wide open.
I'm taking Earl, but I'm scared to death.
Why? What's the main reason? The layoff?
Yeah, all that shit, man. This the thing, man. All right, number one, these are the closest odds that Earl done went into a fight with in a long time. So the odds makers think this shit is gonna be competitive too. Like his last fights, them like even off a layoff, I think he was a wider favorite against after car wreck, he was a wider favorite against somebody go on mute, cause somebody background is making some noise. Appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? But I think he was a wider favorite against Danny Garcia. I want to say he was at least a 5-1 favorite. It might have been more than that. But in this fight, the last time I checked, it was like minus 375. So they think it's gonna be closer. You know what I'm saying? But one of the main things that I'm nervous about is history. Is because number one, if you took this fight from the pros and the amateurs, it would flip to Ugas being the favorite because he's from Cuba. You know, they just well documented the type of background that they have in Cuba. You know what I'm saying? And they got a long history over there in Cuba. Man, we just dropped a video on our channel about Cuban boxing. Well, it wasn't a straight history video. It was like a tribute video. And we talking about fighters like Teofilo Stevenson and Felix Savon and all these kind of guys. And it feel like they kind of do for one. Like they do for some greatness in the 4-belt era type shit. I done heard Ugas talking about he gonna be the first Cuban to fight for 3 belts and have an opportunity to be undisputed. So I'm just thinking like I believe in energy and shit like that. So all right, if Ugas was to become undisputed, right, he would have to go through Earl Spence and he would have to go through Crawford. So Earl Spence, he was like a formidable type motherfucker. He still is. He a bad motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But if Ugas was to get past him, the energy might say, okay, let's weaken Earl. Let's weaken Earl. Because like the universe is planning for Ugas to be, let's say hypothetically, the universe is planning for Ugas to be undisputed for Cuba for the first time, you know what I'm saying? Like in the 4-belt era. That motherfucker be like, okay, let's weaken Earl a little bit. So they put him in a car wreck. He get an eye injury, all this kind of shit. He coming off a layoff. If you was to beat Earl, this is the time that you would beat him. He coming off a layoff. He coming off an eye injury. He passed 30. He ain't, spring chicken like he used to be. He ain't no old man either, but I'm just saying he ain't just knee deep in his prime like he was. This is the time. So let's say he was to get past Earl hypothetically, and he was to fight Crawford. This is a man that he's dominated in the amateurs. He beat him 27-10. and he done been talking about it recently. So he will go into that fight with some confidence that he can win this fight, and it probably is a winnable fight for him. You know what I'm saying? So just looking at that, it kind of make me think like, damn, is the universe trying to make this man undisputed? But you know, that's just me with my 10-4 hat on and shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as the fight go, I'm taking Earl because of the jab and body work and stuff. But I am scared because nervous coming off the layoff, and I do feel like Ugas is a dangerous opponent, and he could possibly have the energy of history behind him.
Hey, I see this motherfucker. I ain't gonna say one sided, but I see Ugas getting broken down, maybe even stop late. I don't think Ugas' body gonna hold up like the younger fighters, like Mikey Garcia or motherfucker Sean Porter. You know what I mean? I don't think he gonna hold up. And Earl work off the jab to get him inside. Earl changes up his shots, different variations. And Ugas, he stands right in front of you. He like to work on the jab, but he mainly like to look for counter shots. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if he's gonna be looking for counter shots, I think that's gonna cost him. I think that's gonna cost him a lot of points, a lot of hurt, a lot of wear and tear in fights. Looking for counters like everybody else did, like Mikey Garcia did, like Danny Garcia did. You know what I'm saying? And a few others. Like you see the outcome of those fights. One motherfucker sitting back waiting for counters, and another motherfucker real active and busy, them throwing damn near 1,000 punches. You know what I'm saying, in the fight. I think it's gonna be a real problem, and it's something that Ugas ain't never really had in front of him before. You know what I'm saying?
See,
Yeah,
that's why I kind of. Oh, my bad.
I was saying, yeah, he an Olympian, and you gonna see many styles, but ain't many fundamentally sound like Earl. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna be a problem for both of them. But I think Earl's just natural game plan and what he brings to the table is just gonna be a natural style problem for movies. I think that pressure gonna bust his pipe. I know he's been off a layoff, but I'm gonna be looking for a stoppage. I'm gonna be looking for a straight up stoppage, whether it's body shot or whether he got him against the ropes looking for that chin. And it came out his own mouth. He looking to make a statement, so we're gonna see. Hype, salute, bro. He said Marlo back boxing Afrocentrics are trying to say Fundora was on steroids and had loaded gloves. Always an excuse when a black fighter loses to a non-black man. That is crazy. But what you finna say, Trey?
I was just gonna say I kind of feel differently about him not being like in the ring with good fighters like that could be on Earl's level. Because like I always bring up Emilio Carrera, and that's a dude that knocked out Sean Porter in 2 rounds. That's Ugas' teammate from Cuba. You know what I'm saying? They used to go to different tournaments and stuff together. They got pictures, matter of fact, they got pictures on Google with them at different tournaments taking pictures together and shit. That's his stablemate. That motherfucker a pretty cold ass fighter. That's a bad motherfucker to come up with. I think he would be like, if he was an acclimated pro and shit in the game, I think he would be a tough fight for Earl. You know what I'm saying? Like I just can't underestimate them Cubans like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I see the Kane Deals got this mark ass on the pounder, nigga. Hey, I should challenge your ass to a duel with that bullshit you put off in the chat on
What I
Saturday,
say? What
nigga.
I say? That's dual
Nah,
worthy.
I ain't about to repeat what you said, motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, that's funny.
What's going down?
Nah, man,
Salute,
chilling,
bro.
chilling. What's
Hey,
happening, Marlo?
chilling. Hey, the random block 849. He said Ugas about to pull an upset. Let's chop it up. Yeah, that's what we doing. Salute and welcome to the gym. This your first time. Hey, Big Boy also said he said my bookie had Spence for the win at $1.10 and Ugas at $4.50. Ugas on points paying $7. That's 7-1. Crazy in my opinion.
I don't even understand the odds he just threw out there. I ain't seen nothing like that. Last time I saw with Earl at minus 375. I don't remember for Ugas, but it sounded like he just said Earl was at minus 110. That would be close as fuck. I ain't seen it that close.
Hey, what's your take on it, King? What's your take on the fight?
Man, listen, I kind of agree with Trey about the universe, but because I think Ugas he he been he been very consistent over the years, and he done got cheated a lot. So it looked like things starting to turn around in his favor. But also Earl, man, as much as we want to feel like that dude might be back to his old self, he still got a compromised eye, and he gonna get hit in the eye, and we don't know how he gonna react yet. So I don't know, man. Look like Earl is confident, but to me, I don't know if anybody else is noticing this, but it still looked like his speech is a little slow. Now, I know he always spoke slow anyway, but it seemed like his speech a little seemed like something off about Earl to me. But I just think, man, it just might be Uga's time, man. But that's all I got to say on it.
Nigga, what's your official picks? Are you taking Ugas?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ugas, man.
Okay. Decision?
Mm, yeah, I'm gonna go with decision. I ain't gonna. I don't think he gonna. Well, he could stop him. We'll see. I'll get back to you on that.
Well, shit. Hey, well, he got a side. He took a side, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Ugas, man.
Yeah, I was nervous with this fight too. Initially, not really seeing Earl train and stuff like that. Just seeing how he's changed his focus has picked up. What his nutrition is. Um, he understanding that he had to make some style changes, all those things, and seeing how focused he is. That that made me go ahead and feel more confident in picking Earl in this fight. I just think that the counter opportunities that Ugas might be looking for, he's not going to find. He's not going to find them. He's not going to find them openings as good as he found against Pacquiao because Earl's defense is a lot tighter, especially in the pocket. He definitely works behind that jab, and he definitely is one of the better defensive fighters. He don't get credit for being that, but he don't take a lot of shots. So and he recognizes the type of fighter that's in front of him. And so he knows he's going to have it. His defense is going to be on point, and I feel like he's going to be the one who actually catches Ugas with a shot that Ugas doesn't see. But I think it's going to be a good fight. I think forever how long it goes, it's going to be a good, entertaining fight, and it's definitely going to be action packed. But I just give Earl the nod.
I think if Earl win, it's gonna be to the body. But yeah.
I do, too. And I see Hyphy said something to me talking about Trey's. Coco Kid is the man. Great Cuban history. Julio Cesar La Cruz of Cuba is the best active amateur. 2 gold medals under his belt. Okay, I see you trying to be slick with Coco Kid because I know that he is known for being arguably the greatest Puerto Rican fighter of all time. But some people do say that he actually came from Cuba and he changed his name. And as far as Julio Cesar La Cruz, he is a bad motherfucker. And don't forget about his 5 AIBA World Championship. He won gold in the AIBA World Championship 5 times. So put that up there with the gold medals. You know what I'm saying? And by Cuba just making this shit legal for them, like to be pros, we about to have an influx, or it's about to be a lot of these motherfuckers that's gonna be doing some things in the pros, like Andy Cruz and shit. I'm looking forward to seeing him at lightweight. I think he gonna do something.
I
You know
love
what I'm
Andy
saying?
Cruz.
Yeah, he got something. You know what I'm saying? And it's a few of them over there that's doing something. So I can't wait for that shit. I ain't mean to interrupt though.
Hey, another thing, dog, forgot to mention that Earl look like in the best shape of his life right now, though, y'all. Y'all been talking about the layoff, you know what I'm saying? I know that'd be a factor, but he up in there hitting on the motherfucking bag, man. Sit down on the punches, looking real sharp and looking real smooth. So I
Yeah.
mean, we gonna see. I know you know what I'm saying. That's what a lot of us looking at. But he looking real strong, man, on the bag, man. Real
My
strong.
man say he got a renewed appreciation for life after the car accident.
Yeah, I ain't seen him looking this strong. I don't even remember seeing him, you know what I'm saying? So I
He
seen him.
does look very strong.
Yeah, a lot of people don't notice. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, man, I'm looking. That might be a stoppage. That's why I'm going towards the stoppage. You know, and hearing him talk behind what he doing. You know what I'm saying? He feel like you know what I'm saying. This is where he want to be, and he ain't taking this shit for granted. So that sounds like he going there and show the world where he's standing at in this division. So
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Marlo. That media workout did a lot for me as far
yeah,
as being able to see what kind of physical condition he was in, and I was liking what I saw out of that, man. So that made me switch up my pick because I was leaning Ugas
man,
up
hey,
until
I ain't seen it. I watched a lot of them media workout. I ain't seen a motherfucker hitting that motherfucker that hard. You know what I'm saying? That sharp, that hard, that crisp. You know what I'm saying? For that long. That shit was kind of wicked, man. I was like, damn, this motherfucker got some newfound power or some shit. That's what I saw. But, you know what I'm saying? That's just me, though.
hey, that newfound power got somebody in their feelings over in the other side.
Hell yeah. I know some of the professionals saw that nigga hit the bag was like, what the fuck? No, for real though, man. I was like, damn, I know they respecting that. Like, this motherfucker been really in this motherfucking basement working out. His therapy was goddamn me the heavy bag. Sitting down on his punches was that man therapy. You caught up in the chat, bro?
Oh, I just had read that one message that I had read. I do want to say this to big boys. He talking about 110 is the same as 1.1 to 1. So he trying to explain to me. Yeah, I know what that shit mean, bro. But when you just say 110, I don't know what that means. I'm used to minus 110 or plus 110, not just a dry ass 110. I don't know what that means. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand how odds mean, bro. I just didn't understand you just throwing out it was a 110. And then even if it's minus 110 or plus 110, I haven't seen the odds that close. What I saw was minus 375. That's what I saw. I ain't seen no minus 110 or plus 110. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I understand how odds go, bro.
Uh, Raymond Knight said it's gonna be crazy. Um, the random block said Uber's about to already read that one. Big Boy said, personally, I can't see Spence stopping Ugas. I'm picking Spence on points, but we'll throw a small wager on Ugas on points. Be silly not at 7-1. That's what's up. Ivy say Ugas has arguably the deepest stable at Southpaw sparring partners, training under Solids. He said the reason Ugas took a 4-day break was because Solids doesn't want him to peak. Okay, that must have been on the where they showed him going to go see his son and shit.
Hey, that's a big part of that shit too, man. Time in that peak, that's square business. Motherfucker don't even be thinking about that shit a lot of the time, but that's real shit.
Hey, Champ Ross, salute, fam. We were just chopping it up about the new season and shit, and what people could do to get on. Go on and drop that link to the league. So if they want to join, they can join through your link.
Yeah, I'm coming for that Jesse Aguilar dude, man. I got a bone to pick with that motherfucker.
Raymond Knight said his legs look strong as Fizza. Yeah, man, that shit tripped me out though. How he was sitting down on his punches, dropping thunder on that motherfucking Fizza head, and not only on the bag though, on the mitts. Y'all seen him working with the mitts with Derrick James? That motherfucker was tearing the mitts up.
He,
I
he
just said,
he checked all the boxes. He checked all the boxes as far as what I wanted to see him do during the media day.
yeah, most definitely. I would say Earl is getting credit for being extremely focused, dedicated, and looking amazing in preparation. He said something other than fighters do all the time and don't get credit for.
Well,
Wow.
for me, I'm just pointing out what made me switch my pick over because I was leaning Ugas. That's all I needed to see is that rededication and that focus.
L Dub in the building, salute fam. I don't know what you mean by that, so I ain't going. answer. Like I even be noticing all kinds of shit about fighters in the press conference, or you know what I'm saying, in their media workouts, and I recognize that they looking strong or looking weak. Like what's the name? Ramirez versus what's the name? Ramirez was looking like a goddamn mummy. You know what I'm saying, in the face off in the press conference. He was looking real drained. That was kind of telling right there. Then moved up, carry on to the fight. You see what happened to her
Y'all don't pay that shit no mind. That just hyphy trolling like you normally do, man.
there.
That's all that shit is.
Big Boy Boxer said, that's the one you was talking to, huh? Talking about?
No, I read the one above that.
Oh, he said odds are funny in different parts of the world. He said here in Australia we have dollar odds. He jumped on me. He said UK is fraction, like half, or you Yanks with that, which is the only one I don't understand. No, you don't understand the odds on our side of the globe. I guess that's what he's trying to say. Hey, what's good though? I was listening to your breakdown earlier, man. Good take. I had put my picks in already too. Champ Ross said he said, "Hell yeah, bro!" I dropped the link for the Facebook league page. It said free to play, cash prizes, everyone is welcome. First week of the new season. Yeah, so it's good to get in right now, y'all. There go the link right there. Anybody want to join? Um, Big Boy said he said even highs here is 190. He says Spence at 110 is a huge favorite. L does say he appreciate 100. Oh man, no problem. I had seen you was on me. I had stopped through. But anyway, yeah. What was we talking about? Anybody got something they
Y'all
want to bring?
already talked about that Fundora Lubin fight.
Yeah, yeah. But you
Yeah.
get your take though.
Okay. Oh
What you?
man, I was just saying while we was on the broadcast and everything, Trey cussed me out while I was in the chat and everything, but I couldn't respond because I wasn't on the panel. So I want to say my piece right quick. You know what I'm saying?
Now hold on, bro. That is unbecoming of a gentleman. I did not curse at you. That is not
Nah, but
true.
nah, you know I'm
King,
fucking with.
King, salute, bro.
But yeah, Trey was saying that my man need to create space and walk Fundora into some shots, right? Is that what you were
Yes,
saying? I just want to be clear. You know, you
that's
not
one
not
thing. Yeah,
mischaracterizing your words.
that is one thing I said.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So in the chat, I was just saying that that Lubin, what he needed to do was he needed to fight. Okay, it's two Herd fights that I had in mind. You had Laura who fought her, and that's basically what he was doing to her. He was moving, walking him in the shots. He was standing there for a little while, and he would move again and walk him in the shot. But eventually, Laura tired out in that fight because that's hard to keep up. Now, when J Rock fought her, he stood in his face and he fought a perfect inside game fight. That's one of my favorite fights of all time. The way he fought that fight. What I felt like Lubin needed to do was he needed to fight Fundora like J Rock fought her, and not like Laura fought her, because Fundora is so damn long. If you try to move away from him and walk him in the shots, that shit, I mean, you gonna get hit on the way out. It's too hard to stay away from a dude that's that damn long. So I just felt like if he tried to move away and walk him in the shots, he gonna have to be running too much, and it was just gonna tire him out. So the best thing he could do was stand in his face and fight him like J Rock fought her. So that was what I was trying to say. It just I'm limited characters in the chat, so like that's all I was trying to say. You just need to fight him. You got to fight that dude head up. You can't move away from he too long.
I
So
understand what you're saying, but Lubin doesn't throw straight punches as well as J Rock. Like if you're a shorter guy with shorter arms, one of your advantages is that you able to get extension on your shots, even though you in close. They can't because they so long and so tall, but you can. J Rock was able to land straight punches on her. If you look at what Lubin was throwing, Lubin wasn't throwing straight punches. All that shit was looping and hooking. Even
mm,
when he was doing good work, everything was a looping shot, looping shot. So when I was saying what I was saying from the standpoint of being Lubin and his
mm,
skill set, because Lubin don't throw straight punches a lot. Like he's
right.
always been like a looping and hooking type puncher, you know what I'm saying? So I don't
Yeah.
think he would be able to employ the same type of game plan as J-Rock.
Yeah. I mean,
St.
I
Cruz and
see.
salute, fam.
Salute to the OG.
Yeah, that game plan he had was kind of strange, man. Yeah, I didn't understand that shit. I think
Yeah,
that
I mean, he wasn't active enough. He was just standing there getting hit with a bunch of uppercuts and shit. That shit was weird. Move your head, bro.
and he countered periodically. You see what the counter helped him. It
Yeah.
put him down. You know what I'm saying? But it was late though when he actually. It was like he desperately was on that motherfucker.
Yeah,
It
because
Yeah.
even
wasn't.
when he got the knockdown, it was a defensive knockdown, like a get off me knockdown. It wasn't a I'm coming to get you. It's like I need to get you off of me for a little while. So he just started fighting like a motherfucker and got a knockdown.
Yeah, he
Hey,
talking with some shit.
He seemed kind of surprised when he seen that old boy was kind of hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a pause when he went to go rush him. You know what I'm saying? And actually put him there.
that was actually one of my favorite moments in calling fights on the cool. I went back and listened to that shit. And like right before that, I was just on Lubin because I was like, damn, man, he getting beat up, this and that, this and that. I was talking about how Fundora was all over him. And then Lubin called him with a left hook. I was like, okay, Lubin fighting back. And then, okay. Then I started getting all excited. You just gotta hear that shit, man. We might have to drop that bitch on the video or something in the future because that shit was like a fun moment, man. Square business.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in boxing, man. It kind of felt like that fight felt like Wilder versus Fury 3 because Fury was bringing that pressure to Wilder, the taller, longer guy, bigger guy. But Wilder had that moment where he caught Fury and dropped Fury, you know what I'm saying? So even though he was getting mauled and beat up pretty good, he still had that moment that we'll always remember and we'll respect from him. And the same thing with Lubin. Lubin out there get beat up, and then the motherfucker just had that moment in the fight where he show you, hey man, I'm getting my ass whooped, but I ain't no punk out here now. You know what I'm saying? And
He ain't pulling no covert.
yeah, square business. Yeah, that shit was player. I'm gonna look in the chat a little bit, man. I'm gonna scroll down right here. Big boy boxing say, damn, Lubin needs to get his money back for that shocking facelift, man. Yeah, that was the beating of 2021. If it wasn't, 2022, it's gonna be the beating of the year.
That don't
Saint
work, man.
St. Cruz and say he gives up his reach, fight him up close. See, that's why I say, man. Like I'm gonna start getting off of that thinking. Because the man can fight on the inside. He don't give a damn about giving up his height. Like we could just look at history. Earlier, I brought up Sandy Sadler versus Willie Pep. That's a tall pressure fighter. Willie Pep, one of the greatest fighters of all time, got like 230 wins, 229 or some shit like that. That man lost 3 out of 4 fights to a pressure fighter that was tall and gave up his height. The man gave up his height and still beat Willie Pep 3 out of 4 times. We look at Hurd. Hurd had a run beating some decent fighters. He beat Tony Harrison. He beat Ezra Landy Laura. He beat Austin Trout, giving up his height. You know what I'm saying? I know he finally caught up with him against Jared Hurd. But if we look at the history of boxing, man, it's a lot of times where them tall. Somebody got to go on mute because the background noise is crazy. If I don't mind. But if we look at the history of boxing, man, it's a lot of examples. We look at Robert the Ghost Guerrero when he fought against Andre Berto. He was taller than Berto, longer than Berto, gave up his height, all that shit, beat the brakes off of Berto. I brought up Antonio Margarito earlier against Cotto. I know he was cheating and all that kind of shit, but he still put a lot of pressure on Cotto, man. Brother, tough fight, gave up his height, all that shit. My man, Joseph Brown, he was talking about Paul Williams. When Paul Williams bring that pressure to folks back in the day, giving up his height. It's a different type of pressure. Even some recent, like let's say David Benavidez when he fought against Kyron Davis. Kyron Davis is like a 2-time national champion. I think he got better skills than David Benavidez. But David Benavidez is just tall, long. He a monster. He gonna come and bring a tough fight to you. Hey, somebody go on mute. Yeah, appreciate that. So yeah, we got like examples of this, man. in the history of boxing where you got these tall guys that give up their height, but they bring that pressure, and that pressure can be different. Like we were just talking about Tyson Fury fighting against Deontay Wilder. We talked about Brandon Figueroa fighting against Luis Nery. Like we could just sit up here and just have example after example of a tall fighter that gives up his height and brings a lot of pressure, busting pipes in that motherfucker. Don't nothing bust pipes like a tall fighter that bring pressure. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. It's good to have a fight on the outside and all that kind of stuff. I understand that. That's the smartest thing to do. Boxing should be hit and not get hit. But boxing is also the hurt business. So when you got that tall guy that can fight on the inside, that motherfucker brings some hurt to you.
Hey, another example, Navarrete versus Doggo.
I'm glad that was what I was thinking about earlier. That's a good one right there, man. That shit started making me think about Navarrete versus what's the dude, Gary Russell? Because you remember I kept on saying, man, I got Gary Russell if they fight. That shit made me think about that a little bit more. Because that's another southpaw, just like Neary, just like Lubin, going against a big, tall guy that bring pressure. It could be the same dynamic. Navarrete might whoop his ass.
Hey, let me jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
What's up, y'all? Hey, man, but see, here's the thing about it. That the way J-Rock fought Hurd, that wouldn't have worked at all because the thing about Fundora that impressed me is it's not uneducated pressure. He walks in with the jab and he starts to mix it up there. And he's very poised for such a young fighter. So the thing about it, like I was saying in the chat, like even when him ducking down, it's still difficult to hit him in the face. I mean, he's 6'5". Like we think Hurd is big, but Hurd ducking down from 6'2" makes him what, like 5'10", where that dude Fundora, he ducks down, he's still 6 feet, man. He's still over you. Like Lubin wouldn't. He just not his defense, man. He don't got good head movement. You got to have like a busy style if you're gonna fight inside. He don't got good head movement. He like you said, he don't throw straight shots. They're kind of loopy, and it kind of look even when he got the knockdown, it kind of looked like he was having to jump to hit the dude. So it was all bad. It was just a bad situation. Fundora was just way more durable than I anticipated. And so even him getting up his height, he has an educated way. He does work his way in with the jab. And he's a southpaw on top of that, which makes it even more complicated to deal with him. And he can switch, but he stays southpaw and disciplined the whole night. And I think that helped him dominate, man. So it was a tough task, man.
And you know what? That's another thing that I was thinking too. I'm glad that you brought that up, that he a southpaw. I think it would have been a little bit easier on Lubin if Lubin was an orthodox fighter, because it would be an open guard fight. He can step around the lead foot and get to the dorsal side and find a blind spot on Fundora instead of being forced to be right there in front of him, because it's a closed guard fight, like they like to call it. When you got orthodox versus orthodox, they call it closed guard. Southpaw versus southpaw, they call it closed guard. So you kind of more in front of your opponent. But if you got the open guard where you got southpaw versus orthodox, you can step around the lead foot, get to the dorsal side, and find some blind spots. You know what I'm saying?
And
He didn't have none of that available.
And that's what Clark was doing against him when I watched Fundora fight Clark over here at the Armory. He was finding them spots. He was stepping around and he was finding them openings, and he kept Fundora off track. You know, kept him off balance doing that. And he had to try to find Clark the whole fight because Clark was fighting off his back foot. And he kept turning him.
Well, here's a question I got. Like, who's a fighter at 154 that y'all feel will be able to fight Fundora like that by walking him in the shots for 12 rounds?
Charlo.
You think
big enough
Charlo
to
will
move.
fight him like that?
Charlo, if it's an opportunity for offense for him to step to the side, he'll do it. The funny part is the little Charlo was always the better boxer than the bigger one. That's the funny part. He just started sleeping dudes. But yeah, I think he could step. He'll use lateral movement a lot better than Lubin did.
I don't know. I feel like Charlo might stay in his face more. Anybody else though besides Charlo?
I don't really
I was sitting here trying to think of somebody who can move like that. I can't think of nobody who can move like that for 12 rounds.
There's really nobody right now at the top guys at 154 who would present that kind of movement for Fundora. I don't trust Charlo to stick to the game plan. I think once he starts getting hit, he's gonna want to, show his bravado.
Yeah.
See, if he had fought Hurts or whatever, we would know a better answer to that question. But since they never fought, we don't really know how he'll deal with that style.
If he had fought who?
Um, what's his name?
Hurt.
Hurts. Hurd. There we go.
Or, okay.
I think that Charlo just built up just some harder material than Lubin.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like
I,
like
I
that
agree with that.
like that first uppercut that Lubin got knocked down with. I think that put a message in his mind. I don't think that punch would drop Charlo. I think Charlo got a much better chin. Even though I know Charlo has been dropped one time in his career, so I ain't saying that he got a chin that's like Hagler or nothing, but I think he got a better chin than Lubin. And Lubin did have the moments where he would explode on Fundora and land punches. If Charlo explode on Fundora like that, I think it's gonna be some
Yeah, to be
hard shit.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be some hard shit that he putting on this dude. You know what I'm saying? I think that Charlo got a stronger will than Lubin, so I think it'll be a tougher fight. Like for me, like I didn't like going into that fight. I didn't think that Fundora was the best 154 pounder in the world. So like after that fight, he go out there and beat a 5'9.5" guy. I still can't see myself thinking he just the best 154 pounder in the world. Styles do make fights though. Like let's say he was to fight Brian Castano. I think he'll probably beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just so small.
Hell, hell.
How tall is he? About 5'7", 5'8",
Yeah,
or
he's
something
short.
like that. Yeah, he's short. I think he'll probably beat his ass. I think Charlo is built a little bit better to deal with him. I would take Charlo. Probably knock him out.
Yeah, the
Hey,
only person I could think of that I think might have the legs to do what y'all was describing might be Madrimov.
and I don't even think it's necessarily that. Like, it's obvious they didn't watch Fundora fights. Lubin just placed his head right in that man's chest, man. Just sit right. It wasn't no movement, or he wasn't trying to really tie him up. You know what I'm saying? To stop him from being busy in the inside. Like, you don't have to necessarily have the distance. You could just tie him up. Get yours off and tie him up. You know what I'm saying? And reset. If you're gonna try to fight him from the inside, but don't let that mother. I mean, from the outside. Don't let that mother. Don't get in the inside and freeze up and lay your head in front of that man's chest and let him just unload a combination. Like, it wasn't no side to side movement. The man wasn't trying to tie his ass up. He wasn't trying to turn him like I said earlier. It was just a lot of shit Lubin didn't do. You know what I'm saying? That other people probably will do and have success doing.
But by far though, I still think it's dangerous for Charlo because them old adages in boxing, I think them hoes still apply. Like when they say a good big man beats a good little man. From what I'm seeing, when you got this type of matchup, where you got a guy that's just so much bigger than the other guy and he bring pressure, it seems like the odds are in that fighter's favor. That big motherfucker bringing that pressure, they win most of the time. So you got the numbers going against you with that shit.
Ain't he
So
in line for a title shot now after that win?
I have no idea.
Well, Lubin was number one, and
Yeah. I think that's what they were fighting for, title shot.
I think Lubin was number
I
one.
think I think Tony Harrison versus Fundora would probably be the next fight
Oh, really?
for that spot for the WBC. Yeah, that's what it
Who
looked
who y'all got in that fight?
Man,
like.
Fundora will beat the hell out that man. Stop his ass.
Yeah, we got to see because don't Tony got a fight coming up?
Tony just fought this past weekend.
Oh, okay.
They fought on the same card. That's what made me get that look.
Yeah,
They both
that's
fighting for the WBC little, you know what I'm saying, minor belts. You know what I mean? And they both ended up with one. I guess that's gonna put them in contention. If they gonna end up fighting to get the winner or something.
yeah, that's typically how it goes. They match up, the guys who win on the same card. They end up fighting each other on another card.
Well, looking at boxer, Harrison fight was for WBC silver, and
Yeah.
then Lubin them fight was for the WBC interim. So
Yeah, because Fundora was ranked number 2, Lubin was number 1, and I think what's his name was like number 3 or something like that. So yeah, it's a. I don't think. Look, to be honest, I don't think Fundura's ready for no title shot. I think I hate to. I mean, I think. Well, I think he's ready, but I know what you know how they do people. He go in there and Charlo smashes him out. They'll be like, "Oh, he wasn't ready. He was too young," and do all that crap. So I think he need to go maybe get a couple more wins on his belt because it was a tough fight.
I actually disagree, bro. Because the reason I disagree is because if he fight anybody that's below that level, he pretty much guaranteed to beat their ass. Like I agree with the Kane deals. If he fight Tony Harrison, I done seen this movie before. I done seen Tony Harrison fight Hurd, get off to a good start and then lose in 9 rounds. I done seen that before. So you know what I'm saying? So I feel very confident that Fundora probably beat the brakes off of him and a lot of guys that's on that level. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's like he the type of guy to take a lot of damage. So if he get more fights, we saying, well, he gonna take more tread off them tires because he gonna take some damage in them punches, and now you ready for a title fight. No, I think the sooner the better for that motherfucker. Get him in there as fresh as possible, so he can walk through them punches like he need to and put forth his best performance. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Hey,
you
and
say,
salute to the
Charlo.
PBC having a good showcase for 154, man. Those were some good fights, man.
I like that idea.
Yeah. And like you say, Charlo made us some tougher shit than Lubin. I think Lubin and Harrison made about the same material. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
Hey, but I will say Harrison is a better boxer, better mover.
And he's taller. That's the biggest thing. He's a better boxer. Like Lubin, like to what he showed me last night, is he even with the pedigree, his footwork ain't that great. His defense ain't that great. I mean, I'm not saying Harrison's mind blowing, but Harrison, when he's focused in a fight, he's difficult to deal with. So we get to say, oh, we've seen that before, but I don't know, man. I think the chin is shaky, but like I say, even with Lubin having a shaky chin, he still stood in there. He took a beating for it, but
well, the reason I say that I've seen it before too is because Harrison got 3 losses and all 3 of them was by stoppage. He got stopped against Willie Nelson in 9 rounds because he started off winning the fight, then got tired coming down the stretch, lost the fight. He started off winning against Hurd. As a matter of fact, I bet on that motherfucker against Hurd. I'm at the poker game and shit, got everybody watching the fight. I'm in there looking like a genius. Then all of a sudden, he take a right uppercut in like round 9 or something like that, and that was the beginning of the end. It might have been round 10. But so he started out winning. Boom, he faded in the fight. And then in the rematch against Charlo, a lot of people felt like he was winning that fight. Boom, he fade coming down the stretch. So I done seen the movie 3 times. It ain't even 1 time. I done seen it 3 times. But I do agree when y'all say that he more equipped for 154. 154 is not a 5'9" man's division, in my opinion. Lubin 5'9" and a half. This guy super bad is 6'1". So he is made better for 154. I agree with y'all on that. And I think that it might be a few fighters that get some Lubin style beatings. Them
unless
dudes
you
like even you talking about Madrimov. Madrimov is one of them dudes. Man, that motherfucker Fundora might do him the same way. 5'9", you might get your ass beat fucking around with Fundora with that 6'6" pressure shit.
I don't know. He about 5'10" and a half, but yeah, he
Look on BoxRec and see what it say. What it say on BoxRec?
We'll see.
I'm gonna say 5'9" and a half.
He might. Let's see.
Who you guys talking about?
I'm gonna just give.
He 5'8" and a half.
Yeah, he's 5'8" and a half. He's little.
Damn. I ain't know he was that short. Goddamn.
That's what I'm saying. We can't just be super confident that he gonna whoop a 6'6" man.
Yeah.
Man, that's like Mike Tyson punch out. You gonna have to jump up there to hit that chick.
Little Mac.
Yeah, you ain't gonna have to jump up there.
Hey, then social scientist said he thought Lubin had to jump up to get to that spot. This 5'8" cat go definitely had to jump up there to get to that spot.
Nah, that was somebody else said that, but who said that he had to jump?
Oh no, I thought that was you that said he looked like he had to jump to hit that nigga.
Nah, that shit was funny though.
Brown, salute sis. Winston Lee, salute, bro. What's happening?
Salute to the angel.
Yeah, I think Tony Harrison. Yeah, I do agree that he probably gets stopped, but it'll be a better. He'll score some points on Fundora.
My thing about Tony Harrison, man, is he got to keep you at this. He don't like to be up in your face fighting and shit, and Fundora ain't gonna give you no other choice.
Man,
No,
somebody
I
got
think there was a choice there, man. I just think Lubin, like I said, with them, and then Treggs touched on it, with them both being southpaws, it's difficult to circle around. If you're an orthodox fighter and you step to the left, it's easy to circle to the left, but he couldn't do none of that. He just literally right in front of each other, sizing each other up.
I know one thing. Fundora vulnerable at the body, and I think Charlo will do a good job on breaking that dude, working on the spare ribs, man.
Hey, that's the other. But see, here's the thing about it is I don't necessarily think he's vulnerable to the body because that's the one place where he's going to get hit all the time. So I promise you,
Well,
he must be preparing for that because think about look, even when he was hitting him clean to the face, like I said, he leans forward, but he's still to kind of tall enough where it's hard to still just hit him in the chin. So the body is where most people are going to think to go ahead and put work in. So I think he got to be strengthening his core so that he just doesn't get manhandled like that. He's not that weak. He's strong for somebody being that tall and skinny.
well, he is tall and slim. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he could do to that frame. You know what I'm saying? But when Lubin did hit him, he did react. Lubin just wasn't trying to break that shit down. But Lubin was throwing some hard, clean shots to the body, man. One or two here and there, taking 4 or 5 uppercuts. But somebody gonna be stabbing at that body from that outside, man.
Hey,
Somebody,
how does the focus J Rock do against a Fundora if he was if he was still had any remnants of what he was?
man. I think J Rock get his ass mixed up. I think J Rock is just fall right. He a sucker for an uppercut too. You know what I'm saying? That ain't changed the J Rock game. Like he done been stopped with uppercut. Bananas done hit his ass with an uppercut like he was watching film from the Charlo fight. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't that game plan ain't changed. And Fundora coming with several of them.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Like J Rock did beat Hurd, but that wasn't the same Hurd that was hungry. That Hurd right there got a haircut in his locker room the night of the fight. He had his mind. He had his mind on fighting Charlo and shit like that. He was looking past J Rock. This guy Fundora don't seem like that type of fighter. I mean, you never know what a fighter gonna do, but just on the outside looking in, he don't seem like that type of guy. He seems like he the type of guy that's gonna bring that hellfire and brimstone every night that he fight. You know what I'm saying? He seems like he a little more humble, that he ain't gonna look past the guy.
Hey, somebody better get to Fundora before he get that LASIK surgery, man, so this fool can see straight. Cause I think that dude got vision problems. Keep it real, bro. Like he need to go get some. He need to go get that eye LASIK surgery ASAP.
Yeah.
Eric R, salute, bro. What's happening?
Salute.
Hey, Eric R was he had 4 bonus picks. He was like 1 round away from 5 on 2 fights, so he would have had 6. He was 1 round away. Eric R did pretty good this week, man. I think he came in second place. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, he started week 3 on the Champ Raw. So let's see what he gonna do if he start week 1 this time. I'm
Yeah.
still coming to whoop his ass.
Hey, but what y'all think about that Triple G Murata fight?
Man, Triple G. Listen, Triple G looked just like he did in that Derevchenko fight, with people saying he was sick and compromised and blah blah blah. But he looked exactly the same to me. The only difference in this fight was he was just so much better than that dude that he got him out of there. His experience and his skill outweighed this guy so much that he was able to eventually break him down. But he still looked like the same fading ass Triple G that he did before to me.
I'm
Hey,
gonna cut him from.
Jazzy T said, "Can we get a Hurd versus Fundora?" I think Hurd personally. I think he done with 54.
I'm gonna cut Golovkin a little slack because he was coming off a layoff, and plus, this how many fights has he had with his trainer? This is only like his second fight with Banks, right? So I'm gonna cut him a little slack. I want to see the motherfucker be more active, and then I have a better gauge of him. But coming off a long layoff, second fight with your new coach, it's kind of hard for me to say.
And I didn't watch it, so I don't really got no tape.
It was a good fight, though. It was a pretty good fight. Murata made a decent fight out of it. Hurt Triple G to the body. He looked like maybe 1 or 2 times and shit, landed some good shit. Golovkin landed some solid punches too, though. Knocked his mouthpiece out of his mouth and shit with a looping right hand.
Man, what's the purpose of Triple G's career at this point? This guy's not going to fight. I mean, I don't even pay no attention to him. I ain't
One
watched him in
last
years.
payday. One
Yeah, that's
last
what it
payday.
is.
That's
You
what
just
it
collect.
is.
You know, they be talking about somebody collecting a check. This dude ain't gonna fight nobody, and keep on with these invisible. But even HBO died because of him, and so nobody even talk about this dude. He's sitting around thinking, "No, come on, I ain't even thinking about you, bro. Hang it up."
I will say,
Canelo finna fight him in September.
I will say this about Triple G's performance. He came off a long layoff. Uh, he was getting hit early on with some shit that, a lot of older fighters be like, you know what? No, I'm gonna call this a night. But Triple G, he endured it and he turned the tide of the fight in the 6th round. That's when the whole fight complexion of the fight changed was in that 6th round. And Murata actually got on his ass the round before and was giving him all the business. And Triple G hit him with that shot, man, changed the whole complexion of that fight. And from all there going forward, it was all Triple G just putting the ass whooping on him. So I was impressed by that because he turned the tide of that fight. It wasn't going his way early. He managed at his old age he still got something left there. So I still want to see him. I don't know if he got enough to beat a Canelo, but I still want to see him fight some guys in that division.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. We've been wanting him to see him fight some guys in that division forever. So I mean, he ain't who's he gonna fight? I mean, let's 160 still got quite a few people there. Who's he gonna fight that's gonna be a challenge or be worth watching?
I thought he ain't at 168. No, he at 160. Yeah.
That's 160. Yeah, he been there his whole career. He ain't ate a sandwich to move up.
Only thing is, like, man, if he get in that ring with Canelo with Canelo in September for real, man, Canelo gonna stop him.
I don't know, man. I'm not so sure about that. Canelo do got a threat against Golovkin. It ain't like Golovkin done lost power. The motherfucker still hit. And he still got a good jab, too.
Bro,
That's what
that jab was serious, man. He was snapping Murata's head back with that jab. It looked so crisp. I ain't even going front on that jab. It was tight. It was tight. When he
yeah.
was when he was throwing it, that shit was effective.
Listen,
So,
man, Triple G boxing is underrated. Triple G is a good chess player. He can set you up for some shit. But his defense just ain't there no more.
Well, you're 345 and 5. I mean, goddamn. But even in his prime, though, his defense, like, he didn't have no great defense to me. I mean, he'll get his hands up good. But I like a guy that transitioned from defense to offense. I didn't really see Triple G slipping shots and coming back with something. That motherfucker was just like, what he'll do is he'll get his work off, and then he'll give you a chance to get your work off. He'll get in the high guard, make a big drama show, and then when you get done doing that, he'll come back with something. Like he'll do his thing, wait his turn, do his thing, wait his turn type of guy, even in his prime.
yeah, even though it was a layoff, you could kind of see he got into his groove, and once he got into his groove, Murata had no he he couldn't take that groove work that was happening. But yeah, we just gotta look at it. I look at it from this standpoint. It doesn't matter, when you fought a guy a couple of times already, it doesn't matter if you had a poor performance. When you get in the ring with that guy, you know that guy, and you're gonna have your moments. We've seen it. I mean, don't get fooled. Juan Manuel Marquez got washed by Floyd Mayweather, but guess what? When he fought Manny Pacquiao, it was always close. No matter how he performed in other fights, even if it was lackluster, when he got in the ring with Pacquiao, it was a whole different story. Not to say Triple G is going to win, but I just don't think it's going to be a whitewash.
Yeah, and that jab was giving Canelo some shit to think about in both their fights. So I just think styles make fights. He a blue chip type of guy. If you look up Golovkin on Wikipedia and scroll down, You're gonna see a list of motherfucking tournaments with gold medals and a silver medal in the Olympics. 335, 345 and 5. That's a blue chip type of guy. I know he older, but he know how to handle himself in that ring. He ain't never been stopped before in his career either. I don't think he just gonna go out there and get stopped versus Canelo.
I think Canelo is a much better fighter than he was when they fought the first time. And I ain't been watching Triple G improve. Okay, I just know Canelo gonna stop that motherfucker
Let
again.
me say this though. He a better fighter since he fought Golovkin. And why you say that?
I mean, look at his head movement. Cause that first time he fought Golovkin, he was kind of on his bike a little bit, trying to move around. He don't even fight like that no more. Canelo coming straight at everybody. It don't matter how hard they punch and how big they are. He coming straight. He walking everybody down. He just a different fighter.
Okay, but who has he been doing that against? Like, has he fought another blue chip type guy like Golovkin since he fought Golovkin?
Nah, he ain't fought nobody as good as Golovkin.
That's what I'm saying. So it's one thing you doing it against these Caleb Plant motherfuckers. It's something totally different when you offering that with the blue chip, man. I'm talking about people that's doing something on the international stage, not just some guy from Tennessee.
Yeah,
Nothing against Tennessee. Shout out to all my brothers in Tennessee, but I'm just saying, we talking about somebody that's doing kicking ass around the world. You know what I'm saying? That's one reason why I think Bivol got action. Bivol one of them dudes that whoop ass all around the world. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro, people
yeah,
sleeping
I
on
feel you.
that. Bibble is a live dog. Bibble is mean in the ring, bro. And when Bibble wins around, you know he won around, bro.
I know
It
we say
ain't.
I know Kovalev was compromised, but he did that to Kovalev too.
Yeah, Kovalev up there pretty good by what 192 and 20 or something like that. He up there pretty good, but he was still, like you said, compromised. He wasn't in his prime. He about 36 years old, coming off a fight against Yard. Didn't have enough time to really train. 8 weeks before the very next fight or some shit like that. He was compromised. And he was still winning rounds. It ain't like he went out there and just lost every round. People were scoring the rounds for Kovalev. At the
That
time he got stopped, some people said he was up on the cards.
Well, that fight was close up until that because his jab was affecting Canelo. Canelo could not effectively counter Kovalev's jab, especially early on. You know, he has that same problem with Triple G in spots where Triple G's jab is very effective against Canelo. So it's not like how everybody thinks it's gonna be just because Canelo, he's looked better in fights, but at the same time, like I said before, when a guy has fought you before and he knows your strengths and your weaknesses, and he has skill as well, he is a lot of the stuff, a lot of the tricks that you implement is not going to work against him, and it's just going to come down to the nitty gritty of who wants it more sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I like I said, I think Triple G is a really good boxer. A lot of people just think he all power, but I mean, he's a lot more than that. But I just think Canelo has improved too much for him. I think
Hey,
Canelo gonna stop him.
he did have some success against Canelo.
He did
We
for
see
sure.
we seen him land a hard, nice shot on Canelo. Canelo kept coming. So I don't know what the fuck he think he got from Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Because point wise, he ain't gonna compete. His best chance is trying to stop him, and he couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? 2 times. I don't see him doing it the third time.
Some people felt like Golovkin won both fights.
Yeah, some people tripping, but I mean, I can see the first fight, but I don't know about that second.
Hey, I learned most people don't look at boxing the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just look at the person they like or whatever. That motherfucker Canelo was knocking Golovkin out the pocket for somebody to say he was winning. You know what I'm saying? Canelo was beating him at his own game. Second fight.
Yeah, the second fight was clear. It was
Yeah,
clear Canelo won that fight. The second fight, first fight, I can't give it to him though.
nah. The first fight
Nah.
it was a draw. I can see a motherfucker saying they felt like Triple G won because Canelo was backing out the pocket, getting up out of there when the shit got hot. But Canelo was actually forcing this man up out the pocket with punches and making this man go back and reset. You know what I'm saying? That was showing dominance. You know what I mean? Something that Triple G normally do. Nobody really does Triple G like that. So I don't see how you know what I'm saying, the second fight was even close for a motherfucker to say like Triple G won or it was
I
crazy.
felt like Canelo won the fight, but it wasn't no 9-3 type shit. It was 7-5 for me. I had that motherfucker winning 7 rounds and Golovkin winning 5.
Triple
I
G
did for
jabbed the hell out of him in that fight.
yeah. He had his moments off in that fight. I didn't think that was just no wash. You know what I'm saying? I thought the shit was like 7-5.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I didn't think it was no wise neither, but I'm saying it was a clear win though.
Yeah, but 7-5, you know, some people might view a round. All it take is 1 round, and then we at a draw.
But it
You
could
know
be
what I'm saying?
7-5 on all threes, just the scorecards too.
But the people I was talking about was like reputable people, like Rummy's Corner and shit. You know, them motherfuckers ain't putting no politics in the game or nothing. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker just saying how they see it. And he was saying that he felt like both fights were close and could have went either way. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Spirit of Justice, salute, fam.
Salute. I'm gonna look in the chat, man. We ain't said nothing to the chat in a while. I'm gonna scroll up. I don't even remember where the fuck we was, man. We done missed a bunch of comments and shit. I'm gonna go right here, man. I done went way up. St. Cruz and OG said Lubin didn't listen to instructions. He made zero adjustment. Rod as the challenge said Easter gives up his height, absolutely. One time say Bo versus Holyfield, a guy that brings a taller, bigger guy that's coming and bringing a fight to your ass. Big Boys Boxing said Fundora has a little sister who lanky like him. She boxing now going to be a big issue for any chick boxer. Big Boy said just listening to Fundora speak, he sounds very intellectual. It seems those smarts carry to his boxing. Okay. Winston Lee said no one Charlo does. Hold on, no one Charlo doesn't like that at all. He said Laura is too damn old, but that style, L Dub said Laura could if he was at 154. Laura dominated that style before versus Paul Williams. Big Boy said Fundora may just clean up 154. Winston Lee said Williams was good, but no power. I guess he's talking about J-Rock. The queen they called Bobby Jean said Charlo can move, but he will stick with it. But will he stick with it? Charlo was a mover when he was with Ronnie. He did more moving with Ronnie Shields. Big Boy said, yeah, it's hard to think Fundora is the best, but it's also hard to think of someone who would beat him for him. Okay. I've seen some people get with him a little bit, though. Winston Lee said, I remember that. How many others? Maybe he's talking about them big, tall dudes that bring that pressure. Big Boy said that the dude is a half a foot bigger than anyone else at 154. Winston Lee said, I missed the whole fight in a hand of spades. Well, y'all motherfuckers doing y'all got some hella spelling going on tonight, boy. Hyphy said Fundora Lubin. PBC Showtime card reminded me of the 2017 event that featured Lubin versus Charlo, Hurd versus Trout, and Laura versus Godshay, all 154-pound showdown type shit. Miss Almond Brown, the angel. DeCane deals with his mark ass in the chat, talking about Wilder 2 inches taller, but they close. Eric R, salute to you. The queen that called Bobby Jean said, can we get her versus Fundora? Marlo spoke on that one. Eric R said, thanks, fellas. I'm down to run it back. Yeah, go ahead and get up in there. Get you a full season under your belt. Hyphy said Triple G is the perfect definition of shot. His body can't take punches, but his good jab is still very effective. Eric R, okay, I see DeCane Diaz talking to him. Eric R said then Triple G put his robe on dude and walked him around the ring like a pimp showing off his bottom bitch. Big Boys Boxing said, don't forget Murata was off 2 years and he ain't no spring chicken at 36. Yeah, but what I noticed in boxing, like if a guy coming off a long layoff and his opponent is also coming off a long layoff, it don't even matter. It's a lot of the time it come down to who shake off the ring rust first. But one guy's layoff does not disqualify another man's layoff. The layoff is still valid. And I paid for that shit in this past weekend too. Because when Triple G got that stoppage, I got scared and bucked the numbers and went and took Ryan Garcia by stoppage. Even though I knew that he was coming off a layoff and it was gonna be a fucking decision, I still went and changed that shit to a knockout like a fucking idiot. And ain't nothing 100%, ain't nothing absolute. But most of the time, if they're coming off a layoff, their performance is gonna suffer. They ain't getting no knockout and all that shit. Big Boys Boxing said, why can't Triple G fight Jamal Charlo? Shit, the matchmaker said that's a bad matchup. Charlo get off first. Triple G ain't a good counterpunch. Ain't a good matchup. Big Boys Boxing said, I'm hoping Bivol screws up the plans of all these jumps. Hold on. I'm hoping Bivol screws up the plans of all these chumps waiting to win the Canelo sweepstakes, and I think he can do it too. I think he got action, man.
Yeah, Bivol knows exactly what he needs to do. He got to control distance, and he's excellent at doing that. And he definitely used that jab and that foot movement, and he doesn't keep his back against the ropes at all, man. He always managed to find himself back in the center of the ring. And he's a sniper. He's lethal with it. And what I mean by sniper, he hits you and you feel it. He may not be the most devastating puncher, but when he puts his punches together, they all land, bro. He ain't wasting punches in that ring.
Yeah, I think he got action of going out there and whooping Canelo ass, man. Me personally. 268-15, AIBA Youth World Champion. Well, not World Champion. He won a bronze medal in it. But that's still the international shit that I like. The dude is a naturally bigger man. That's like we were saying earlier. A good big man beats a good little man. That's what we used to say. Canelo done got everybody tricked and shit into thinking that he's some kind of unstoppable motherfucker. I be hearing all the fighters and shit talking about, oh man, it's an easy fight for Canelo. Man, it's an easy fight. Like he all of a sudden he done turned into Mayweather or something. And that's what we used to say about Mayweather. Oh man, that's gonna be an easy fight for Mayweather. Even though it wasn't always an easy fight, but that's what we would say. When did Canelo graduate to that level to where everybody just an easy fight for Canelo? He been beating all these B-level fighters. Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant. He been beating people like that. Now all of a sudden he just is all-time great bad motherfucker that's beating anything on two legs. Like, come on, man.
It's funny you say that because Bivol said the same thing. He finds it funny. He actually laughed. He said he finds it funny how everybody thinks this guy's invincible. like Keith Mayweather or something. So you actually quoted Bivol verbatim. He said that during this week.
I mean, just look at the history of the man against blue chip type guy. Let's go back to Ezra Laura. Ezra Laura, AIBA world champion. He won in 2005. A lot of people felt like he beat Canelo. When I first watched the fight live, I felt like Laura won the fight. So that's a blue chip guy that arguably beat Canelo. Let's go to another blue chip guy. Floyd Mayweather Jr. He won a bronze medal in the Olympics. He should have won gold. He went out there and beat the man. He was a naturally smaller man. He went out there and beat the man. Okay, let's go to Golovkin, another blue chip guy, 335-15, Olympic silver medalist. He placed at the AIBA World Championship. I think he might have got a bronze. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. But he done a lot of shit. Blue chip type guy. He go out there and fight a draw with Canelo the first time. A lot of people felt like he won the fight. The second fight was also close. A lot of people felt like Canelo won the fight, but they still think it was competitive. 7-5, maybe 8-4. If you really favor Canelo style in the fight. Okay. We ain't had none of that going on. Callum Smith ain't like that. Billy Joe Saunders, you can say he like that because I think he a gold medalist, but he don't have that volume like the other guy. The other guys be having 300 fights. He only had like 60. So it's different. You see what I'm saying? Canelo ain't fought nobody like this. And this is going to be the first time he fought somebody that's like this, but a lot bigger than him. Because, Laura wasn't a lot bigger than him. Mayweather not bigger than him. We could say Kovalev, but Kovalev was compromised. I forgot about Kovalev. Kovalev, a blue chip type guy. Canelo did knock him out, even though he was winning rounds. Kovalev was winning rounds, but he still got stopped. But he was compromised, though. So this is the first time he gonna fight somebody that's a blue chip type guy that's bigger than him and not compromised in his prime. Ain't no stipulations that I know of in the contract like catch weights or anything like that. I think it's a perfect recipe for this man to go out here and upset this guy.
Yeah, I
I
Hey,
agree with
think
that.
the reason a lot of people, it's not that people think that he's invincible. The problem is we think he has too many unfair advantages and it's a lot to overcome. So that's what it is. It's not like we're saying like, oh man, he's Floyd and he got dominant skills. We're like, man, this dude he can take PEDs and cheat. He got judges that are trash. It's like, so it's not like I look at Canelo, I'm like, man, this guy's just unbeatable. No, it's not that. It's just like it's a tall tale. Because think about it. Every time we were talking about him losing, Saunders, Plant, we were like, oh, the issue is not that these guys can't win. It's just like, can they win on the scorecards? Can they do this and that? So that's the issue that we saying. It's not like we just think this guy's unbeatable. I think Canelo get beat. So it's not like he's not invincible. He has an L on his record. So that's the issue that everybody has. That's why people think that way. It's just like, man, you got it's like you come into the fight down 4 rounds, like before he even started. Somebody scored his fight with Mayweather a draw. So let's think about that. That's the thing that people think about when they think he can't be beat.
Well, the thing I'll say about Bivol, and this is what gives me confidence with Bivol, is when you watch Bivol fight, Bivol dominates the rounds. He wins. It's not even close. Like, this guy literally wins 10 or 11 rounds out of every fight he fights. I mean, I mean, that's the one thing that gives me, considerable confidence when I say Bivol is he has a legitimate shot, because he don't fight close rounds. When you see him fight, he dominates from round to round, from the beginning all the way to the end of the round. It's clear as day. So it's like, if you even think about robbing this guy and he's dominating the round the way he dominates it's no way you could do it.
I agree with you on that, bro. The man be winning 120 to 108 on them cards and shit. And I saw that what gives him problem is the tall fighters. He going against somebody that's my height. This motherfucker Canelo about 5'8", 5'9". He about my height. I just think this is a good situation for Bill, but this is what he want.
hey, shout out to D-Ray. Salute, fam. Jazzy T said I wouldn't bet on Bivol versus Canelo. I think Bivol was on the take.
Shit, I shoot my shot at this shit, man. The odds makers ain't crazy though. They ain't got them wide odds out there for this fight. They got Canelo about a 4-1 favorite. Either some reasonable sound and shit. Ain't no 10-1 and all of that like he been. You know what I'm saying? Against Plant and all them guys. Yeah, he fight them. He 10-1 favorite though, them dudes. The odds makers ain't crazy. They know this shit gonna be tough against Bivol. And I like Bivol's toughness, man. I dropped a video in the Discord where when Bivol, when he fought against that Eastern European, he real tall. I can't think his name. But he hit that motherfucker Bivol with an elbow, a flush elbow, right on the chin. And the referee was right there. Bivol didn't say nothing.
Never complain.
Didn't complain, didn't say nothing. If that was Caleb Platinum, that motherfucker been crying. He probably still be crying right now. Bivol ain't say nothing. He stayed focused and kept his mind on the fight. That showed me. I said, yeah, he a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you one thing too. A lot of people don't like Bivol because people accuse Andre Ward of leaving boxing to avoid Bivol. So a lot of people don't like Bivol because of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really even consider all that shit. I didn't feel like that was true as far as Andre Ward goes. And I just feel like this man got what it takes to go out here and whoop Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about whoop his ass. I ain't talking about just go out there and make a good fight out of it and whoop. I'm talking about go out there and put paws on it where he swole up out there and beat up. That's what I'm talking about. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, that's one of the fights I'm looking forward to. Out of a lot of the fights upcoming, especially this month and next month, I'm really intrigued about that fight.
Yeah, we probably gonna have to get the zone, man.
Man, we got our work cut out for us, man. We got this weekend. Well, we just had our first weekend this past weekend, and boom, we got next weekend. Well, this coming up weekend, the next weekend after that, you got Tyson Fury fight. I don't know what we gonna do. Maybe this ghost smelling motherfucker that came deals will let me get the code for the zone so I can call the fight.
Yeah,
And
I
then
got
we got Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez. And then when is Canelo and them? Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's the next weekend after that. So nigga, hey, this shit is lined up. We got our work cut out for us in this boxing, man.
Eric R said that dude from Russia, he probably spars with people throwing elbows.
Square business.
Or he's probably sparring with drunk motherfuckers. You know, them drunk motherfuckers be pressure fighters.
Yeah.
They walk into all kind of shit. On that Russian vodka.
That motherfucker tough, man. He ain't like conspicuously type tough. He got that inner toughness that I like. You remember they used to say back in the day, like strong, silent motherfucker. You know what they say? Killers move with silence and violence. Like he ain't trying to talk you to death. He just trying to show you. That's the impression I get from him. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker, he coming to put some heavy heat on you, man. And I done seen him get hurt in the fight. He got hurt against Joe Smith. Joe Smith hit him with a looping right hand. That motherfucker Bivol looked like he was sleepwalking to the corner. But he came out the next round and started milling on the retreat like they be saying in my books I be reading. But he was winning the rounds though. Like he was boxing on the retreat, but he was still winning the round. And that shit stood out to me. And as a matter of fact, he hurt the motherfucker a few times, even though he was fighting on the retreat. So that
Bruh,
let me know he know how to operate when he hurt.
he almost stopped him, Trey, in the final round. If it was like a few more seconds left, he would have stopped Joe Smith. And I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I like Bivol, man. I think he got action. Derek Bailey said you have to get the zone and still order the pay-per-view. Yeah, you got to order the pay-per-view, but they knocked $20 off of it though. The pay-per-view costs $79.99, but if you got a subscription, you pay $59.99. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'll go half on that shit with you, Decane, if you let me get the password. You know what I'm saying? That's all we gotta do, nigga. I throw $30 a piece, bro.
okay.
Unless you want me to go half on the whole thing and we go 40. I do 40, I ain't tripping. Unless you gonna let me do 30. But the only thing is what Marlo gonna do, because Marlo ain't got the zone.
Well,
That's
I
the
got
only
you.
thing.
When the fight? When that fight in May?
No, nigga, it's in 2 weeks.
Oh damn. Okay. Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I already got to pay for a pay-per-view. I might just say fuck that shit, man, because I ain't trying to be paying all these pay-per-views. And then when is Tank Davis fight? Because you know everybody gonna want to watch that one too. When he fight?
I think that's in May too.
That shit coming up. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of pay-per-views, man, that they got locked out in one part of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not paying for no Rolly.
Hey, that's why I was saying in the Discord, man, like they needed to spread this out a little bit more. I mean, as a boxing fan, I'm loving to get all this action, but you know, after a while, you see them bills, man. You like, God, dog, bro, could at least did us one solid or two.
Square business, bro. Bill be looking crazy in the motherfucker. We done bought two pay-per-views and shit. Because it's 2 of them this month. We got the pay-per-view next coming up, and then the very next weekend is Tyson Fury's pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? And then the very next month, you got 2 more pay-per-views. You got Canelo and you got Tank Davis. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I forgot about that Fury White fight. And then you got Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson.
And it's inflation right now. Fuck they talking about.
Yeah.
Gas high as a motherfucker. Everything high around this motherfucker. Eric Cooper over there laughing, said he watching that fight right now. Which one you talking about?
It was about you watching.
Lubin versus Fundora.
Yeah, which fight you watching right now? Derek Bailey said Tank fight on the 28th next month. That's still all in 1 month though. Him and Canelo. I did want to watch Canelo versus Bivol, man. If I had to pick between the two of them, I'd pick Canelo because I think that's a more competitive fight. It's a fight that's pay-per-view worthy more to me than Tank versus Rolly. What is Rolly ranked? Is he even a top 10 motherfucker?
Yeah, I'm not paying for no Rolly versus Tank. I wasn't gonna pay for it when they first talked about it in December. I damn sure ain't gonna pay for it now.
But that'll be the fight that we ordered though, because everybody loved Tank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody loves Canelo too.
What'd you say, bro?
I said a lot of motherfuckers love Canelo too.
Not on our channel though. You know, it's a lot more love for Tank than Canelo.
Yeah, really Chris, really diehard Canelo over here.
Yeah, he don't.
Hey, what y'all think about that Tank situation though?
With that contract stuff,
Yeah.
I seen that what's the name you posted. I really don't be tripping, man, because I mean, it's always some kind of contract dispute fucking with Tank. There's always gonna be some kind of beef now. It's ain't just about the contract. He said it's about jealousy. Like he don't want to let him shine. The case may be. But you know, remember when Tank fought that Walsh kid? He said that Mayweather tried to put him in tough, set him up to lose. I just took it like he trying to feel the same way about Roly. Like he ain't got no high confidence in Roly. You know what I'm saying? Because he should be keeping this fight and riding into the
Hey,
sunset.
somebody go on mute. It's making him sound muffled.
I was gonna say he should be taking this fight seriously, knocking this kid out, and riding his pay-per-view status into the sunset. But instead, I guess he's trying to go some other route. I don't know what he's trying to do. But I ain't even interested, man. I'm just waiting. I just want to see him fight.
Yeah, that's understandable. You know, I just hope whatever move we make is we gonna see some better opponents. You know, we're gonna see him actually test himself, test his skills. Because for me, I think Tank is one of the sharpest young. Well, I can't even call him young fighter no more, but he's one of the sharpest guys. Amongst those guys. So when it comes to skill set, and he always got that equalizer, but at the same time, he sets up his shots and he sets traps. Um, better than a lot of these younger fighters do at the moment. So I just want to see him get in there with the level of competition, so he can get all those accolades that we're putting on him as having, because we see the skill. But like I said, I just want to see him fight tougher competition at this point.
If he leaves Florida and he still don't fight nobody, then does that just mean the whole time that it was Tank? Because we
Yeah,
all assuming the reason he fought nobody is because of Floyd. But if he leaves Floyd, and we got to keep it a buck. If we see him leave Floyd and he doesn't go anywhere but top rank, and I hate that he would have to do that, but that's where all the fighters are at. If he does anything else besides try to side fights over there, then at the end of the day, it was on him. Because we got to keep it real. Let's be honest. When Floyd was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sign a Lomachenko fight," Tank should have came out and be like, "Okay, yeah, sign that fight tomorrow. I got him right now. Let's just do that." That ain't what kind of energy he brought. So we're gonna see real soon if it was Floyd the whole time or if this was Tank running from these fights.
Well, yeah, we got to keep the same energy if we're gonna have that same thing where fans is like, hey, Bud need to go where the fights are, which is PBC. Tank got to go where the fights are, and all the belts are on that side. So he gonna have to, if he wants the belts and he wants those big fights are over there.
hey,
The
to me, I think it's,
Lomachenko, the Cambosa, even Haney's over there now. So, if you want those fights, that's where they are.
well, I still think Tank is in a better position than all of them. He been on pay per view for what, the last 3 fights, and supposedly they've been successful. Ain't none of them guys really on pay per view. None of them guys really in those kind of positions right now. I think he should be trying to ride that. You know what I'm saying? I think he's in a better position as far as finance wise and being seen. You know what I'm saying? To get this name up. I think he in a better position. I don't see him going to top rank and being in a better position than he already is. Besides just carrying what he already accumulated from what he had to them. But I mean, them guys right now should be coming to him. He is on pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Regardless to he probably don't got the belts and shit that they probably looking for. That's probably one of the main reasons because he really only holding that WBA strap. But other than that, shit, where they want to be at is on pay per view. So I think he in a cool position. He should be talking about lining them up and knocking them down with the position he is, not trying to run away from that position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does have leverage. I mean, uh, his biggest fights have been on Showtime, and I'm pretty sure he would probably want to continue that working relationship with Richard Schaefer, and I'm sure there's probably going to be a deal available for him, with Showtime if he goes that way, which is he's probably going to be the one of the highest paid lightweights if that's the route he goes. Um, and a lot of the other guys, they already understand that, you know, Tank would be that dude in the negotiations. They've already come out and said it. So they've already conceded. So, like you said, he is in a good position.
But
But
see, here's the problem, though,
Hey,
man.
real
That
quick.
they're all. Oh, my bad.
Big boy said being on pay per view doesn't mean ish if the pay per views flops. But I just clearly said in my little thing that they obviously ain't been flopping. He been on them for his last 3 fights. If they was flopping, I'm pretty sure he would be continue. They would continue to put this kind of money up for pay per view. So obviously he's doing good. So you know what I'm saying. I don't know what the other people been influencing y'all, but I know damn well they're not gonna keep on putting money up if they flop. You know what I
and
mean?
at the same time, it's not like he's getting these astronomical purses. So what your idea of what a flop is not a flop in terms of a lightweight, and what he's getting and what his counterpart is making. So if the other guy's only making 200, 300,000, he's only commanding $2, $3 million, and his pay-per-view is 200 or 250,000, that's not a flop. They still made money. And plus his events sell out. So he always sells out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got to get out of the mindset that the days of million of common pay-per-views doing a million, that stuff is over. There's just too many avenues to see this stuff for free. I mean, and people still so look, man, I went from having the choppy stream where it was putting viruses on my computer to the point I was like, now, man, that stuff is so clear. It's better than some of them, better than the actual pay-per-view. You know what I mean? So it's just like we just got to get out of that mindset of thinking that, oh, this dude didn't do a mill. Look, man, right now, nowadays, if you do 250, 300,000, that's a success, man. And so
Hey,
you got
let
to
me say,
really be.
Hey,
let me say,
he also said so. Why Leonard Ellerby, which ain't none of my concern on why they don't put out the numbers. From what I know, Eddie Hearn and his own don't put out the numbers. Ain't nobody questioning him.
hey,
I ain't worried about that kind of stuff.
hey, to piggyback off what King of King just said, we also got to understand that the mindset of these fighters might be changing too. I was listening to Little B Hop talk. I don't know who that is. Y'all sound like y'all doing construction in this motherfucker. Or maybe it's my shit or something. I don't
No,
know.
that's the key.
But like I was listening to Little B Hop talk. He was doing an interview. And he was talking about this might be why he got his ass whooped too. But he said that like the goals is to like have one fight a year, 1 or 2 fights a year. You make over $1 million a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's goals for a fighter. And that sound like he might have been speaking for this generation, the way they view it. Like to be successful in boxing is not necessarily to be the best in your division or to get all the belts or whatever. It could possibly be to have a fight, 1 or 2 fights a year, get paid a handsome purse for each fight, and just ride it out like that. You know what I'm saying? That's Cadillac for them. That's some fighters they looking at that shit like that.
Sure. Like I did in the building. Salute, sir.
What up, go smelling ass?
Yeah, that's why
She talking about she ain't in the Chan Ross next season.
I said.
What a scary ass. She talking about she don't want no more of that smoke.
Hey, that's why I said that about that being in a position that takes us in. Like that's what a lot of fighters want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers is fighting with titles and fighting on regular TV, making small lump sums. They're not happy in their position even with a title. And you got motherfuckers like Tank that's on pay per view. You know what I'm saying? He happy with his wallet, but I guess he want people to back up out his shine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he a man. That's what he want. That's what he want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's good, but it is what it is.
Maybe you don't want a promoter that's all in the video. A motherfucker trying to self promote.
Yeah, he don't want no Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? He want to go over to Death Row. He want to go over there with Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, but shit, that's it, man. We just gonna go on and shut it down. This shit in an hour. We about to get up. You know,
Kane Deals go first. Go smell the motherfucker.
Hey, what we doing? What we doing?
Closing it out, nigga.
All right. Hey, hold up. Yeah, y'all stay cool. What we got coming up this weekend? Y'all stop by the corner, check that shit out. Punches, the snap, and etc.
Yeah, we got Earl Spence and Ugas this weekend.
Bro,
Oh shit!
you don't know what we got this weekend? What's going on, man?
It's a
You
lot of
just
shit going
exposed
on this month.
yourself. Nah, you just exposed yourself. You ain't no real boxing fan if you don't know what's going on this weekend, nigga.
You right? I'm a casual. I suck at
Yes.
shit, but yeah, I'm gonna be here this weekend checking out the shit.
The casual scientist.
Hell yeah, the casual scientist gonna be in this motherfucker this weekend. Y'all come check it out. Trey X on the call.
Already. What about you, Joseph Brown?
Hey, man. It's been a while, but I'm glad I got back on the panel, man. I appreciate y'all, man, keeping this thing going, man. One of the best boxing channels on this fucking YouTube platform right here. And y'all get to hear it go down each and every fight night. Trey X and Marlo gonna break it down. Trey gonna call the hell out of that fight, man. And I can't wait till this weekend to see Errol Spence, the truth, back in the building. Yeah, trying to unify against a hungry game opponent and Odanius Ugas, man, who's gonna bring it. So this is gonna be an excellent fight, man. I can't wait. It's always good to be on the corner, man. Talk some boxing, and just kick it with the fellas, man. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Peace out.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you getting on. Appreciate the Kane Deals getting on. I'm gonna stop calling y'all by y'all first and last name too, man. I gotta start practicing that shit.
I don't even believe that shit.
I'm gonna try my best. But look, man, definitely appreciate y'all though. And we're gonna have some fun this weekend, man. It's always a good time when it's the big fights and shit. You know what I'm saying? The pay-per-views feel like holidays. I just don't like too many goddamn holidays in 1 month. I don't need one holiday a month, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna have some fun with it. Hopefully Earl Spence go out there and get the victory. I'm not gonna let the people pump the shit up too far to where Earl is in a no-win situation. The motherfucker has a dangerous opponent coming up. And if he goes out here and beats this guy coming off a layoff and coming off an injury, that's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that's what he supposed to do. That's an accomplishment, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see how the shit go down, man. And we're gonna have some fun with it. Salute to everybody came through. I ain't gonna talk you to death.
Yeah, most definitely. You already know, man, it's always fun. Enjoying each other's time, man. Sharing each other's opinion on the sport. Shit, we're gonna be back this weekend, man. It's gonna be fun, man. I'm pumped, looking forward to it. I'm trying to work on this video, have this video drop. But you already know, if y'all ain't checked out the last few videos we done dropped, man, check them out. Appreciate
Oh yeah,
y'all.
we got the next cartoon on the way too, man. It's already getting put together, man. So y'all be on the lookout for that.
Appreciate y'all support, man. Special thanks to all the members. Appreciate y'all for helping keeping the lights on, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Till next time, don't forget to tell them haters and trolls, get the fuck out my gym.
You heard him.
Peace.
Gia.